That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another sort of surprise episode of Psycho's Platters, always powered by coffee each and every time. That's right. I hope that I hope everybody is doing good out there. It's 6:40 p.m. Central Standard. Yeah. This was all last minute, to be honest with you, and it's only going to be for about hour and a half at the most. Richard, how are you doing? What was it? Chase, concert buddy, and I were talking about you for 2 seconds, I think, when I responded to one of his videos. And do you live in Missouri, Richard? Because he said something about that when I go to the four-state record show in March in Carthage to say hello to you. And if that's the case, you'll get to see me too, maybe. That would be nice. Ruthann, how are you? Staycation begins the summer of George begins, as opposed to the summer of Paul, John, and Ringo. Good day to you too. Chris, hello. And always good to see my people. I said my people. Because you guys are my people. And I thought I would, do something a little different. We had Christmas sweater day at work, so I'm going to show you what this is, okay? This is Season's Creepings, and it is Svengoolie. It's a Christmas sweater that they sold last year. They only made 1,000 of them, and it was fun. I figured, hey, I love getting in on these ugly Christmas sweater type shit. This is my ugly Christmas sweater. Although I had a lot of people give me some really good. That's an erotic sweater. Oh my God, you're funny. I did Rex Richard Oberheim, epic. Yes, that's Great Face No More tune. What is it? And then of course, I happen to find this. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but it's a button that I got thanks to Robert S. And I found it at Beans. Kevin. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Kevin. He was like a brother from another mother to me, and I miss him. He would love these damn things. And I mean, if you were to go back, like in my Psycho Platter live streams, to like about anywhere from 18 months to about two and a half years ago, you'd find him. You'd find him on there with me. He definitely livened up the proceedings, to say the least. And when he passed away, that just was like a punch in the gut, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, it's an epic. Yeah, I think my whole damn life is an epic. More of a tragedy, but hey, guess you can't look a gift horse, right? Anyways, so like I said, I know I lied. Well, I didn't lie necessarily exactly. I just wasn't sure. I said I wasn't going to do one, but I mean, I had to take care of some stuff. I went across town, ran an errand, and I came back, and I'm like, you know what? What am I going to do? Go take a nap? Twiddle my thumbs? Fuck no, I'm going to do another one of these. And I do have a little bit of things to talk about. A little bit, not too much. Do you know if Rick Wakeman's journey to the center of the earth in 6 Wives of Henry VIII? Okay, so I actually did hear Journey to the Center of the Earth. Yes, the dryer's done before anybody else asks. But I know of 6 Wives of Henry VIII, but I never heard that album. What was it? The running gag was Rick Wakeman on ice. Oh my God. Rick Wakeman. I don't know if I can find the photograph. I can't find it right now, but my late dear friend, my former fiance, friend of mine that passed away. God, it's going to be a year on the 21st. She's been gone. I can't believe it, so I'll try to dedicate that video to you, honey, Mary Ellen Meyer. I miss you, the M&M girl. That's what they used to call her when she was a disc jockey in Central Illinois in the late 70s, actually. That's for sure. She was a DJ. Boy, she had a 900 voice. I heard one snippet of a tape once, and I'm like, oh my, no wonder why the teenagers and the 20-somethings wanted to see what that was. Hi, Sean, how are you? Yeah, I mean, like I said with Jody this past week, and, in my memories, I don't know if I can pull this up, this just came up in random, but it was a picture of me and Jessica from about 15 years ago. But I miss her. Do you know that? I go off and I send things to her on her messenger. I do, and maybe I can't get to it. Oh well, that's okay. But I think about her too. The last Christmas that we shared was 2018, which was such a weird Christmas. There was something weird hanging over the air. I should have known, but I didn't. Nobody did. That's right. He played in the Strawbs. I'm going to tell you something. I never owned or came across any Strawbs albums. I don't think. John Ford, I think that's his name, lives in New York, and he will do solo shows on occasion. What's wrong? I don't know what that emoji is. Give his 2020 album, The Red Planet, a spin. It's a great listen. He also has released some videos along with it. Very nice. Yeah, Rick Wakeman is definitely Oh, I'm sorry. See my stupid ADD? So the story, if I can find the picture, I'll show it, and maybe in the next couple shows. But it was a picture of Mary. She drove to the Genesee Theater, which is a legendary theater in Waukegan, Illinois. Waukegan also happened to be the birthplace of Jack Benny. And when Jack Benny was, growing up and into vaudeville, he would perform at the Genesee Theater before he was anybody. But so that's how old this theater is. And they redid it too. And it was back a couple years ago when it was ARW, which was Anderson, Rabin, Wakeman. Okay. Which I don't know why the hell they never put a studio album out. I think I would have loved to have heard that. I know there was a live disc, but see, that damn hurts. Fucking hurts when they all go. I'm not trying to be on a downer here, guys. Influenced so many, but yeah, and I do dig Tony Banks and Keith Emerson. Hey, Dusty, how are you? Yes, indeed. Well, like I said, thanks, Chris. And the first love thing hurts like hell. I'll tell you the truth. As far as for first love is concerned, I don't know where she's at, if she's even alive. I contacted the brother once. He skirted around the question. And I asked him again a few months later, and I'm sitting here and I'm going, either she went through something very horrendous and isn't telling me, or she's dead. And I pray to God she's not dead. Diana was a wonderful soul. Okay. She came into my life, no matter how brief it was in a way, just at the right time, I guess. Eating quiche. Hello, old. Lisa, Ruthie, Lisa, and the Cult Jam. My first love stalks me occasionally. One way or another, he's gonna get you. Maybe someday, maybe next week. I'm sorry. See, now that sucks too. All my aunts and uncles are dead, except for evil Uncle Jim. Now, evil Uncle Jim, I think I know where he is. I tried, a few years ago, to extend the olive branch. He probably basically took a Zippo lighter and fucking lit it on fire. And I'm just like, all right, fine, be that way. I can sleep at night. The additional twinge of pain, if you will, is my mom lives down the street now from him. And he knows where the hell she's at. He won't visit her. So I'm sorry, evil Uncle Jim, but you're kind of a piece of crap, all right? You really are. And it's a shame because I sort of looked up to him a little bit in the 70s when I was a kid, but he's a piece of crap. In reference to ARW, apparently it was all due to time constraint. Yeah, one song does exist. Oh, I almost would love to see that. Evil Jim refuses to die. He's like Keith Richards. Well, he's not as old as Keith Richards. Somebody posted on Facebook the other day, which made me laugh. I laughed out loud on this. It was a picture of Keith Richards holding two babies, and it said Keith Richards and Adam and Eve. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. This is, I can't get the early Benatar on CD. Is that right? I wonder, are they out today? They had to have maybe come out in the 80s, I hope. Keith Richards with twin. Sorry. But I know. I made a goofy title today. It's called From Dishwasher to Discwasher, a future documentary. Now, I'm kind of being a smartass. Is what I was being. I'm in a good mood actually, but I thought I'd be a smart ass, and you guys probably could figure that out from the title. But hey, if somebody wants to do a future documentary, who the fuck would do a future documentary on me? I don't think anybody wants to do a documentary on me because they would not want to see all the skeletons in my closet. Early Benatar. See, and yeah, it is pretty inexpensive on vinyl. You're right. I know the label being Chrysalis. When did Seven the Hard Way come out? And Tropico, because one of those two I saw on vinyl. I saw it like in the last couple of months. Try Discogs; they have great bargain, and it is true too. That's very, very true, Oberheim. Just like Pat Benatar and you guys, we belong. Oh, are you? Okay. So, all right, listen. Like I said, I'm being a smart ass here, okay? One of the first jobs that I had, I was 15 going on 16, was at Snug Harbor in McHenry, Illinois. It was right on the Fox River. And I was a dishwasher for Snug Harbor, which it was a steak and seafood joint, okay? I always came home smelling like seafood and wet, even with the apron on, I still was soaked. So dishwasher being one of my first jobs, to Discwasher, which of course would be cleaning your records. See, that's why I'm being a smart ass. I'm just tweaking people's chains. That's all. I'm pulling people's chains. Only my own. Okay. Now I can't say that about people on the golf course who might actually put their scrotum and everything in the ball washer. That is not what that's for. And I can see Rodney Dangerfield and Bill Murray doing that. Same with Spock's beard. You know what? Like I said, I've never come across, and so far, I haven't even come across any CDs from Spock's beard, or even Porcupine Tree for that matter. There's another one you don't hear too much. I grabbed a copy of the first Milli Vanilli album, Italian pressing with a. Wow. Now, don't you know it's true? Ooh, ooh. And I mean, I know that came out on Arista. When was that? When was Milli Vanilli? 90, 90, 91, 92? I can't quite damn remember. Of course, I'm not going to play them, you know. Then you got the next VC Santa Claus documentary. Yowza, yowza, yeah. Well, yeah, I alerted you via message, you goof. Not messenger, your phone. Silly Willy. D. Sean, hey, clown fist. Imagine a clown fist enema. There you go. Whamby. Hey, Ruthie baby, fact. Dusty says the first Milli Vanilli LPs are starting to become scarce. Ever since the documentary about them, people buy them as conversation pieces to laugh about. You know what? Oh my God. Do you think, oh, I can't believe I'm going to open my big mouth on this. Do you think that the first Milli Vanilli LP, oh, I'll settle for CD if they're that expensive, should be a future episode of Jukebox from Hell? I don't know. I'm trying to think yet. Blame it on the rain. Baby, don't you lose my number. And there was 3 of them. There was 3 songs off that damn album. I washed dishes in my grandfather's restaurant for a year when I first got out of school. It's a restaurant work is hard. I only did it for that Snug Harbor job. They kind of got pissed off at me. I only ended up doing it for about 2.5 months. The thing is, though, I warned them. When I got hired. Okay, I said, I'm not going to be able to work the whole summer because I was going with my grandma to go visit evil Uncle Jim back when he lived in Casper, Wyoming. Yes, I was gone for 2 weeks. That was the first time I saw Yellowstone and went to Montana and Colorado. It was fun. But yeah, they didn't like it that I said, well, you realize this is my last week, right? What do you mean? Well, by the time I come back, school was going to be like 2-3 weeks later. And I'm like, I'm just going to try to relax for a week or 2, which is what I did. Don't you know it's true? Wet sepia. Yeah, there is a joke in there somewhere. Let's just leave it in there, okay? Hey, Randy. 88? Holy really? 88? Why did I think it was around 90 or 91? I'm a fan, and that's no joke at all. Today, they did 2 albums, right? Because after it was mentioned it wasn't them, didn't they do an album as themselves? And it didn't do that well, I'm told. I could be wrong on that. Word. Jen, thanks for commenting on one of my latest videos. I mowed lawns and babysat at 11. Yeah, I did lawns too. Not the babysitting, but I did lawns and shoveled snow. And like I said, when I was oh, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years old. I would go up and down the one side of my street on William Street, and and I would knock on the door. Sometimes it was by myself. Sometimes it was my mom or grandma, and or evil Uncle Jim. And I'd be like, "Hey, you got any? You got any pop bottles that you don't want?" And people would give me pop bottles back when you could get the deposits. And some weeks, some days, because I only did it once a week, I could get $5. And for a kid that's young, and in the early 1970s, $5 went a lot for a kid. And I didn't always spend all my money. I spent maybe half of it. You could get a lot of shit for a couple bucks back then for a kid. I love crab rangoon. Oh, I haven't had good crab rangoon in a long time. Snap, you were right. I missed it. Did you see the new Superman trailer dropped this morning? It was aight. I'll have to look at it. Yes, it should. Definitely. Are they both deceased now? Well, I know one committed suicide. I don't know about the other one. Started along as Dishwasher, would go along and have the job again later. No one stays at that kind of. Well, I know my former brother-in-law. He's been at that job at the IHOP for. God, let me think about this. Shit, when I lived at the old house, we're talking about if you ever looked at the old videos of Psycho's Platters. When I was in the record room, I missed that record room. It was quietest room in the house, but that was pre-fall 2020. So I know damn well he had that job at least for maybe 6 or 7 years. And that's what he still does. Yes, and I may have to I'll tell you something. Oysters. That is an aphrodisiac. Now, I love me a good aphrodisiac, but okay, I don't know if I could deal with fresh raw oysters. Now, I have had steamed oysters and steamed mussels. Like Squeeze, I was pulling mussels from a shell. Mm-hmm. Yes, oh God, I love crab. I do. I don't want to get the crabs, but I love crab. And sometimes I'll just eat it straight out without using the clarified butter. Yeah, see, we all have to start somewhere. But, looking back at all this shit now, Psycho finally realizes that. He's like, I should have probably just, because I usually spent the summers at my grandma's house anyway. I could have had a job. We had a couple record stores. We had Sound City. We had Flipside for you Illinois, Wisconsin people. If you remember that chain. I could have maybe even met occasional celebrities too. And I know that my Flipside had a Ticketron, so I would have been for one of the first for concert tickets, but of course I didn't have a damn car till I was 16. Well, at least access to drive one. I didn't have my first car till I was like 18. But probably the place I would have gone and worked at was Oranges. We had an Oranges chain because Rose Records, they didn't come in until like the early 90s. But I would have loved to have worked there too. What the heck? Really? I'll have to look at Girl, you know it's true. Oh God, not the William Hug again. I am not going to play the clip because this artist, I can't even call him an artist, is on Columbia Records. There is a rapper, I said a rapper, that sounds like a mosquito. If you know who I'm talking about, good for you. If not, maybe it's best left unsaid. But I joked around actually the other day after RP played me. I don't remember the damn rapper's name. It was annoying as shit, too. I said, gee, maybe that guy should have done a duet album with William Hung. Would have sold 5 copies. Tracker was up. All or Nothing, Dance with the Devil, Money, and Hush. My Uncle Jim owned the restaurant after my grandfather. Now my cousin runs it. See, there you go. Nothing wrong with a good family business. I could tell you some stories about a Chinese restaurant I worked at. You would never see. That doesn't surprise me either. Here's a little Chinese restaurant story. So I was like a teenager, and this is when I finally started getting into some, what American Chinese food, okay? Because Chinese food is not really Chinese food here in the U.S. Unless you can, you're a true Asian chef and you can make it that way. But I remember my mom and dad, something about my mom, something she wasn't feeling really good, or maybe it was my dad. And we were getting ready to have dinner. And then, like I said, somebody got sick, didn't feel well. And since they already ordered everything, they kindly asked the waiter if they could put it and flip it to go instead. Makes sense, right? So the waiter had this weird look on his face. And he goes, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, he said he was. And he goes, "Yes, please. She's not feeling very well. We're just going to take it home. I feel bad. Sorry, but we got to do this." So he goes into the kitchen. Maybe 30 seconds goes by. And you hear I'm not kidding, a mad Asian chef yelling through the door, "To go!" True story. And he started throwing things around in the kitchen. I'm like, what the fuck? Jenny, be Jenny. My mother and grandmother owned an operator. See, now that's cool, though, if they knew what they were doing. No, I'm Chinese. Spare me the stories. But then again, I want to hear. See, of course you do. My first job was Kentucky Fried Chicken. The day after I turned 16, I couldn't eat yet. Oh, no. Really? See, now listen, this is what I heard. I don't know how true it is, okay? That I don't know if they stopped pressure cooking the chicken, the original. And as far as for the extra crispy, don't they just I don't know how to explain this. Don't they drop it in a deep fryer or something after you'd know, but I kind of missed they had a lemon pepper chicken. Oh God, it was so good. First LP, then there was the Robin Fab album released in 92. Then the Real Vocalist put out an album in 91. You're thinking of the 89, 90 because that's when yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Had to get their Grammy back. Sorry for the novel. No. I'd rather know all this stuff. But let me tell you this. I brought this story up a long time ago. So here I am, and my buddy John, he's the manager of the Rose Records in Crystal Lake, Illinois, okay, which is where I lived or visited for over a dozen years after living in there in the 70s. So, John, I'm there, and I'm going through the clearance. I always went through the clearance rack. He had clearance LPs, clearance cassettes. He even had the little 3-inch CDs and CDs in the long boxes, if you remember that, people. And so he opens up a letter, and it's from Arista Records. Seriously, no fooling. And the letterhead even says, he showed me after he read it. And he starts laughing at the letter. And I'm going, "What's so funny, John?" And he goes, "You know that Milli Vanilli nonsense?" And I'm going, yeah. He goes, "I think I heard it on MTV or somewhere on the radio." And he goes, "Yeah, Arista just went off and gave me a letter that stated that there is a buyback program and he showed me the letter, and basically it was if you bought the LP, I think it was like you got $2 or $3 back if you turned it in. And I can't remember if it was like the vinyl or the cassette was $1 less than the other one. And I'm laughing my ass off because I'm like, they're only giving $2 to $3 back on this buyback, which is a joke. A lot of people I heard were pissed off about this. About it kind of showed that Clive Davis and Arista were very much tightwads. And I'm told he never got, nobody did it at his store. I also happened to be there the day that he got another different thing in the mail. And it was from Capitol Records, or Hollywood Records, if you will. And oh geez. And it said, after he told me, oh dear Lord, yeah. But see, now let me ask you though, is Australian KFC hopefully different than the US? Because our KFC sucks. It really, I haven't eaten KFC in six months to a year, and I was not happy about it. 25 cents. And if we want to be technical, 72.73, they were 20 cents, and I could stretch that out. I like for $1, if you only wanted to spend $1 in 1973, okay, one comic book, pack of baseball cards, a long bottle glass of soda, and a candy bar, okay? And go off and take it to the counter, and you get a slight bit of change back from $1. I'm telling you, did good for a while. Did good. Oh my God, wet seafood. That'd be some nickname. Wet crab. It did sound like bad, love. Yeah. Paul is so far, but yeah, I know. I'll see this comment in 10 fucking minutes. And you're almost right. It was 8 minutes. See, now I'm wondering, okay, so like the peaches, strawberry, oranges. I wonder if it was owned by the same people, but they had to name it differently for different regions. Leads me to wonder about that. Because I heard of peaches. I've seen the record crates. Yeah, you're right. 1962, it went like late 62, it went from 10 cents to 12 for one of them. One was a little later, like they flipped it in 63 for the other big company. But yeah, I mean, to be a kid in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and up to 62, and only having to put one thin dime. I went door to door to clean houses and iron for people when I was very young. Nothing wrong with that. I never had oysters in my life. True story. Posing muscles for Michelle. Posing muscles for Michelle. I like that. I'm a seafood addict. When I see food, I eat it. We shucked, she said shucked, fresh oysters in Inverness scary knives. Oh, I bet. I've seen people do that. I'm going to sound like an old fart, but these young kids have no work ethic or ambition. You're right. So the picture button, like I was mentioning, this was a gentleman named, his name on YouTube was Beans. Okay. He never had a channel, but he always would come on other people's channels. Many, many years ago, he was on Rachel's. He'd be on mine and Doc Dacus and a few other ones. If you were to go back in my Psychoplatter history, Mellow, you'd find at least probably about 15 to 20 episodes with him in it. Oh my God, we'd be laughing our asses off. All the 18 to 25-year-olds I work with have a bad attitude. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that whole stay on the damn phone all day pisses me off. I don't even have my cell phone on, except for breaks and lunch. That's it. Unless there's an emergency like that's going to, and I know is going to happen, I keep my phone on at that point. Like when Jess was in the hospital. Rapping Rodney. Can't get a break. Yuck, Andy. Orange chicken is yummy. Wish I had worked in a record store as a kid. That would have been fun. I ended up working in restaurants as a busboy and later a waiter. Yeah, see, I don't know if I could have been a waiter. Busboy, at least you know what the hell you're doing. I don't know if I could have done the waiter stuff. Now, I mean, when Skip had his Full Circle Records open, I remember that he let me help in 2 inventories. That was fun. I didn't mind counting records and stuff, and I got instead of money, I got free records. I'm like, new ones too. I'm like, thank you. Beef and broccoli. I was in China, the Chinese food is, yeah, well, I bet it is. Something wrong with your Chinese food. I'll see myself with that lame joke, Dusty. Americans had never, yeah, you know what? You're probably really right with that. The way you type, yeah, chopping broccoli, chopping broccoli, chopping broccoli. I play that, but NBC Universal will ding my ass. You guys are lucky to have such a variety of KFC here in Australia. Really? That's sad. Dusty brother. One place let you pick the reptile you wanted them to kill for you to eat. Now I'm thinking of Mexican radio with the iguana line. Broccoli cheddar soup. Damn, I'm fat. I got a long box once. I never liked that chick. Boom, boom. Tsh. Dusty the broccoli song. Yeah, our KFC is good, but don't eat it much. It's too salty. Randy's telling Dusty type jokes. Broccoli. She's cooking broccoli. She's cooking broccoli. Oh. Did you like LL Cool J? Cool Mo D. I like LL Cool J, actually. I like that stuff, but not the crap that pass off as rap now. So many good ones back then. You know, let's play one that I actually like. I'll get dinged for it. Yesterday I only had one ding. That didn't sound right. And the thing is, though, it didn't show up for 14 hours. Assholes. But we'll play one. This is actually one of my favorites from LL. I really wish I could hear the maybe it's on YouTube, the Michael Jackson. I'm gonna have to play you the record though, okay? So, because I'm not in the mood to. Okay, hang on a minute. Yes, I never had one. Anyways, I put on the invite if you want to come up, Mello, or anybody else for that matter of reason. I'll be on till about between 8 and 8:30. All right. Pink cookies in a plastic bag being crushed by a building. That's right. I bet you didn't see that coming, did you? What are pink cookies, those edible crackers? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So listen, I had to explain this to my wife number 2 because my stepson, he was a pain in the ass. His name was Brian. He had that tape. And I heard that for the first time, and I'm like, and if I remember right, I'm trying to think what was sampled for that song. I want to say Wonderland by Night by Bert Kaempfert. I could be wrong on that. Because he got pissed when I'm like, this part sounds familiar and I can't figure it out. Well, of course, I had to explain to my wife what pink cookies in a plastic bag being crushed by a building was. Of course, the pink cookies are the being crushed by a building. And she was like, what? And I'm like, that's how you got away with shit on the radio back in the day. Churches. You know what? Here's the thing with churches. Now, in Chicagoland, I know we must have had churches, okay? But they weren't around my neighborhood. We had Browns. We had Browns chicken. And of course, the problem with that is that if you're bored and you look up on Google Brown's Chicken Massacre, okay, yeah, it's real, and it was horrible, and what they did to those people, oh my God. So they never really bounced back from that. Stop. I'll tell you the girls don't want to see these movies, that's for sure. The side, but oh God, I did not write treat. You see, now I'm thinking though of Peter Griffin on Family Guy going something about side boob. Only Randy's gonna pass out. Randy Bobende. I'm starting a rap beef with Paul. Live a little, Ron. Live a little. That's right. Ha 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 ha. This is the most rap I've ever heard, and I'm not even. Now, I love the really old school stuff. I do, like Rapper's Delight, the long version. I like White Lines Don't Do It, The Message. Oh God. Cool Mo D? Yeah, maybe. Run DMC. I do like all that stuff. I just didn't have very much. I just didn't have very much. Those pink icings for that animal cricket are tasty. Yes. Hi, William. I love the emotions. The emotions, the dramatics, all that Philly soul and the other stuff too in the 70s. I'm more confused after Paul's exploit. Sorry. Some people got pewed in churches in Texas. I'm wondering, was that the one where it was at the Crystal Cathedral? Schuler's church, the televangelist. Somebody went and got some people in there. Now I'm hungry and there's very little food. I'm sorry. Willie is the cancer of the VC. Oh, I think there's worse cancers if you're going to have cancer in the VC, which nobody likes cancer. There's worse, I think, okay? There is. I just don't know who. Rap ends for me in around 93, and the thing is that I don't mind Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style. I don't mind Dr. Dre's The Chronic. Do I have in my collection? No. I may have Snoop's Doggy Style. Maybe. I said Doggy Style. But I really just don't have a hell of a lot of rap in the collection. But for some reason, I always liked LL Cool J, And yes, I remember seeing Public Enemy, on what was it, Arsenio and MTV, Funkadelic. And you know what, Dan? Somebody dumped a bunch of Tower of Power at one of my regular record mall haunts. Seriously. And so I was told somebody dumped some P-Funk too, but I didn't see them. And the one album that was left was Scratch to Holy Hell. House of Pain is good. Yeah, I get you. I was macking on Snoop Dogg. Anywho, appreciate my 39 people here. If you feel like it, please put the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. If you also feel like it, it's not a requirement. If you want to throw a donation here or there, that's perfectly fine as well. If not, you don't have to. It's not a requirement. I'm not buying a set of amplifiers or a guitar or anything else like that, or a one-door Yugo, which of course the one door is the hatchback. You have to go in and out of that. Now, speaking of somebody that probably has a one-door Yugo in that house somewhere and has yet to discover it, is this guy.
Maybe. I might.
It does cling.
Howdy.
Right. Reynolds wrap does cling. Yes, it does. Remember, though, ladies and gentlemen, do not, I repeat, do not, men and teenage boys, do not use saran wrap. It is not effective. I know somebody that did it. No, it wasn't me. And they still got the girl pregnant. So saran wrap is not a good thing to have, okay? For that. For clinging to plastic, yes. If you want to go clean your your sex doll, you know, that's another thing, you know, but when it comes to that, no.
Illmatic.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was having a hard time with that. Every generation has to have their own music. Well, that's true. I mean,
Thank you, Ruthann.
I think it's health that kids are listening to different music. Healthy to, yeah. The music must change. That's right. Even the Who said that.
Who are you?
Mackin is when you lean way back in the driver's seat, barely see over the dash.
Oh yeah, when you're like that kind of thing, you know.
Thank you. Seriously, Sean. Thank you very much. Honestly, I do appreciate that. Melody, that's right. He's here in the house.
Sweets.
Well, ho, 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 and a hey, 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 just got back to
work today. That's really nice.
Spent hard time in a hard place. Chilled a dude that got in my face. Paul had to clarify. Oh, my. Anyways, before I forget, so new subs. We got more every day, guys.
That's awesome.
Every day we're shuffling. Okay.
I'm getting a couple come drift my way too, believe it or not. Good. I've got a couple new subs this week.
Going
towards 1,000.
See, kick ass. Let's help him get Melody to 1,000 with his clown fist and apple pits channels.
Yeah.
Please and thank you. Autophilia and RTS Kono, Kono. Thank you for being in the Psychoplatter universe. And there is others, but they haven't popped up yet. Let's see. Hello, Palma. Hi, Piccolina. Have you checked out Godo? Shit, I have not checked out Godo. That was actually one of the things I was meaning to do, and I didn't get to do that yet. I'll have to listen to that. Be careful of bragging on PB's launch or excellent collection. He doesn't like it. Hi, Piccolina. So let's see here. How you been today, Mello? How you been?
I was up this morning to watch the Superman trailer because they were doing it at 9 o'clock this morning, and literally blew the whole entire YouTube up. I mean, like every other video on my feed was the reaction, the review. It's already polarizing. I mean, there's people that love it, and there's people that hate it. I'm kind of in between. It was you know what I mean? There were some parts that were really cool, gave me goosebumps. Other parts, like, I don't want to give it away if you didn't see it. I mean, you could probably play it and not get dinged because everybody's playing it. Everybody's playing it. Rachel's played it. Ethan Van Sciver's played it. Like, all these channels I watch have been playing it. So if you want to see it, you can probably show it on here. Honestly, I think they want people to show because DC Comics has such a bad rap right now. There we have it.
Wow.
I have some problems with it and some things that I like about it. Yeah, exactly.
This is true. This is very true. This is what I grew up
on. The one thing I don't like about this trailer, there's not one scene showing Superman smiling or being like he's like bloodied and he's smooching like Lois. Every other scene is like smooching and hugging Lois and like you didn't see Christopher Reeve like that. You know what I mean? It's nothing against loving your woman and stuff, but like he's almost mammy-pamby about it. Like, you know, and another reason why is because one of the writers of the movie is Tom King, who is one of the wokest guys in DC Comics. Yeah. He's the one that literally, you know, wanted to help make Superman's son gay and do all these things. So having him part of this movie doesn't bode well in a lot of ways. And I can't stand the outfit. The outfit is like wrinkly and like not form fitting. Like he's supposed to have a Kryptonian outfit that's supposed to be like an extra layer of skin. And here it looks like it's from like he's a NASCAR driver or something. You know, it looks kind of Guardians of the Galaxy kind of wear. It's got like, different textures and patterns on it. That stuff I never liked about the outfit. The colors are right. I like the colors, but the way they changed the S, I don't like that at all. That was originally an Alex Ross concept for Kingdom Come, where it was black and red, and it was supposed to be a futuristic thing, not the Superman of today with the classic, and then the fact that they weren't even going to give him shorts again. They were going to make him without the shorts, but David Cornsweet, who plays Superman, he convinced James Gunn to allow the trunks to be back on, because he said he didn't want to intimidate the kids. He wanted to make it more friendly, more, something that the kids will like, and that's the way pro wrestlers dress. So he wanted to have that kind of aesthetic, and it looks empty without the trunks. To me, it doesn't look like Superman. I can't explain why the trunks seem so important. Even if they weren't trunks and they just painted red there and just had color change, a fade into red there.
I'll admit, when I was a kid,
George
Reeves, George Reeves was the first Superman I saw. Because
him and Christopher Reeve.
They used to play that stuff on it's either Channel 9 or Channel 44.
Channel 9 for us.
Yeah, see. Hello,
Kirk Allen, too, did a great job. And even Brandon Routh didn't do a bad job. He tried to take to the Christopher Reeve aesthetic, but once Zack Snyder came in, and I feel bad for Henry Cavill, because he could have played a really great Superman if they would have given him great writing and a great outfit, But
now
I don't know. It's a new era. There were some cool shots where he's saving the girl and the thing's going over his back. I thought that was a really iconic. But he looks like Elvis there. Like, honestly, he looks a lot like Elvis. So all I see is Elvis being Superman, which in a way, Elvis would have made a good Superman because he had that iconic look. Elvis could have played Superman easily.
Hey, shenanigans.
Shanny!
World in motion, word up. I take to the streets just to catch the beat. We're just purists, Mello. Silly question. Does Mello? Yes, he does.
Yeah, I have 2 channels. I don't do much on them. I'm going to start amping it up a little bit, doing some more, because it's been a couple months since I've ever even done a live stream where I did a jam cast. Probably a month or so since I've even posted a video on any of the channels. But Apple Pits and Clown Fist are my 2 channels.
Let's save Jim Smith's question for a minute. Now, the last couple of days, ladies and gentlemen, I've gone off and tried to give you Christmas music ideas. Okay, you guys got to see, of course, Gordon Lightfoot Sings Everything. And then last night it was 30 different stars singing their version of Stairway to Heaven. But this one here is going to come out on a 45. Let's see if he...
Oh, wow. I met him. I met Bob Keeshan.
There you go.
I met him when I was like 5 years old. My mom brought me to this Firehouse convention that he was making an appearance at, and I got a picture with him when I was like 5.
Nice.
That was the first star that I ever met that I could say I remember whatever.
I love
Jim Croce.
Back to the question: top 3 fave albums of all time. My God, that'd be tough.
Oh, that's hard.
I can definitely tell you one of them is going to be the Monkees, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones.
One of mine was your last jukebox from hell.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I love the Mr. Bungle album, bro. I mean, I watched your review, and I appreciate the stuff, the time you took to learn the history and some of the things about the Travolta and understanding about that. You did pretty damn good. You almost sounded like a fan. Honestly, the way you were talking about it, sounded like you already knew this stuff.
Well,
The fact that you didn't.
I did. In Zappa, though,
Chef's kiss, bro.
yeah, I mean, as soon as I heard that Zappa wished it was him.
Can you
I'm
say
like,
what your favorite song on that record is?
oh my God, Mellow. No. I'll tell you this.
I like Travolta. I really love Travolta.
That one was fine, but
that was the single.
There was this one song where it got into a funky groove and then went right.
Oh, the girls of porn.
Yeah, Circus Calliope music made me mad. I was like, I can't deal with this.
I love that stuff, though, man. It's like, you know what kind of talent it takes? Maybe me as a musician to try to execute the way that they would do some of that stuff. I mean, literally, almost superhuman. To be able to, I mean, the drummer, you got to just think of the literal, like, they would play those songs live and do those kind of hard shifts from doing a funky groove to Super Mario Brothers. I mean, like, hey,
I kind of liked that. I like that.
Yeah, yes, your hair looks pink.
And by the way, though, yes, Cher was mega hot back in the day. So mega hot that a 12-year-old Anthony Kiedis was in the same bet. Never mind. We talked about that.
Richard James, what's up, brother?
Mello, did Captain Kangaroo ever touch you in bad places?
No, I can't say that.
To the Captain Kangaroo doll. Cool. I loved Jim. Wish you were here.
Hi, Ruthann.
Is your hair pink, Shannon?
Yes, it is.
It is. It's like the girl in remember in Greece. Remember when what's her name? Joan Blondell came up. Your hair looks like an Easter egg.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's a $5 wig, so whatever.
Oh, there you go.
It looks good on you. It does.
Thank you. I like it. I tried to get Mom to wear it, but she's like, I'd have to pay her, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, it looks cute.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's really freaking hot. It's worse than American. It's worse than
American.
Worse than American. Yeah, Trekker says Frenchie. Favorite Pink Floyd album? My God. Animals.
I like Animals. I like Metal.
Metal and Wish You Were Here. Those are the two I like. Favorite Macca album? Probably. It depends on my mood. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I love them.
Either, of course, the standard Band on the Run, but I also like Back to the Egg. So
I like McCartney too. I'm weird. I like McCartney too. The Waterfalls and Temporary Secretary, and I mean, I can tell you many reasons why I like that record. He was just such in a transitional phase in that guy's life. It really showed musically.
Beauty School Dropout.
Yeah.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's like saying The Wall. I love The Wall, and I love Dark Side. I mean, I love every Pink Floyd record. I didn't really like him as much after Roger left. I mean, the second phase with the best song, I knew that was
coming. I knew that was coming. I did, Randy. I did.
You know what I mean? Like the Momentary Lapse of Reason and Division Bell. They were good albums. They're no way. They're shells of like The Wall or Dark Side of the Moon.
Here's the one I'm not a big fan of. Okay.
I feel so out of place when I talk about Pink Floyd with you guys because I really don't know much about them except for Momentary Lapse of Reason.
It's an okay record.
Right.
It's not bad. It's just not as good as like the other ones.
It's a lot better than Final Cut. That's the one I was.
Oh yeah, right. Everybody says that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Universally across the board, many people says Final Cut is just can't believe they came off the high of The Wall, and literally, it's kind of like the way the Cars were after two great albums, Cars and Candy O. Then Panorama comes out and it like lost some luster, like it was nowhere near as good as those first two records. It's weird.
Wasn't it George? Was it George? What got my mind set on you?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Cloud Nine.
That one was fun.
Obscured by clowns. I like that. Oh, yes. See, boy.
Obscured by Clowns is a good album.
Let's see.
I just love metal. Metal is, again, like almost a transitionary phase for Pink Floyd. They were right on the cusp of Dark Side of the Moon, and they were brimming with explosion to go.
Yeah, and I the only song I like on there is Not Now John, and I barely like it. That's the only one that got played on the radio up where I live. Before I forget,
I couldn't even sing that song to you, honestly. That's how much I don't really, barely listen to that record.
Yeah. Before I forget,
Where are all the trolls?
other than, of course, happy birthday to my son Michael, my oldest son Michael.
God bless him.
Yes. Also Jeff Skunk Baxter and
great interview.
And John McEwen from from Nitty Gritty.
Great interview Jeff Skunk Baxter did with Rick Beato. Honestly, if you didn't see it, you should see it.
I'll have to.
Smoking weed in there.
Of course,
metal is great, AC.
Yeah, I love metal.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Jim.
Thank you, Sean.
Happy birthday, Michael.
And then there are two little news things that came on the music wire in the last 48 hours. By the way, I only got dinged once last night. It surprised the hell out of me. And I can't even remember.
It would be nice if they would loosen up their reins a little bit and not just ding you for everything.
Yeah, I know it's bullshit. Need to check out metal and Mick, and then Randy. My Old School is my favorite.
I love that song.
The piano at home. My Old School. Yeah, no, and it wasn't Steely Dan that got me dinged. I got away with that one.
Wow.
But you got away with Steely Dan? What got you dinged?
It was
me.
No, not you. Oh, I remember now. It was what Mello suggested.
What was that?
You asked me to play something, and I got it dinged.
Shit, I don't even remember.
That doesn't matter. I cleaned it all up. No, but that's still funny though. The way you get obscured by clowns.
Mello, who are my top three favorite bands? Yeah, man. Well, Beatles is number one, obviously. I mean, with most musicians, they would probably say that a lot of times. But I mean, I have an affinity literally for the Bee Gees because I associate with the Bee Gees so much. I have two younger brothers that are twins, and all three of us are musicians. So it's like I was the Barry Gibb. And I love Olivia Newton-John. I put her in the Bee Gees almost time. And then it's Pink Floyd, Frank Zappa, Stryper, Mr. Bungle, Zappa, Metallica, ELO. I mean, I'm such a hodgepodge. Every band has such a deep meaning to me at certain points in my life.
Right.
Stryper was the number one, even over Beatles for me when I was younger. That whole godly rock thing really, really affected me.
I know nobody really asked, but Beatles, Monkees, Who, Badfinger, and Nectar, and Cheap Trick. Those are probably my tops. Another one turning 50 this year, 10cc's original soundtrack. I'm Not in Love is one of my favorite fucking songs. I really wish I could have seen them play it live, but Graham Gouldman did his best job when singing.
It really is one of the greatest songs written. I love that song so much.
Yes.
Godley and Cream really were geniuses. They were the ones that directed the black and white video for Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And they also did that song, Crying, I think it was called.
Cry, you're right. Godley and Cream, yeah.
Yeah.
Gentle Giant, I tried. I had two different albums. Octopus was one of them. I just could not wrap my head around it. Maurice Gibb is definitely an underrated musician.
Oh man, Maurice was absolutely underrated as a bass player. Some of them bass lines that you hear in like Staying Alive and like some of it's Maurice Gibb playing, man. It's just like he was an incredible musician.
Oh, there you go. I like this. Beatles, The Jam, and Venom. There's a three for you.
That's a dichotomy right there, man. They lower me down into that hole in the ground. I scream up for help, but they hear not a sound. I tear at the lid. My fingers, they bleed. Is this happening to me, or is this just a dream? Remember that song?
Wow.
That was Buried Alive from Venom.
A lot
I
of
haven't
my
heard that
favorite
in years, but I still
is
remember
because
it
of
like
lyrics.
it was yesterday.
It's because of lyrics. If they're one of my
Really, I mean
favorite
that song. I've
songs,
heard that
lyrics.
song since 1983, and it's still I can recite it like it was yesterday.
So two, like I said, in the last 48 hours, two little news stories that dropped. So there's this new band that's going to have a handful of shows next month, January
Oh yeah.
2025. A new band called Close Enemies, and if you've never heard of them, that's perfectly all right because it's a new band. But who started this band was Tom Hamilton, the bass player of Aerosmith. It seems like to me now that Aerosmith really is kind of gone. I don't think that they're even going to even attempt to do any studio stuff, which, that would not surprise me. So basically, everybody's going to start splintering. I mean, Joe Perry's with Hollywood Vampires and his solo stuff, and Brad Whitford probably will go and jump with Derek St. Holmes and cut another record, which would be just fine. But so Close Enemies. So Tom Hamilton, like I said, Trace Foster, who was his bass tech in Aerosmith, but he's on guitar for this. Peter Stroud, who was the guitarist for Sheryl Crow for the last 25 years. All right. Here's a namer that I have not heard in a while. Tony Brock is going to be the drummer. He was in the Babies, of course, and Rod Stewart for over a dozen years. And then for anybody that happens to maybe have heard of this guy in the Oklahoma City area, I wish Jeff Kendall was up here. He could tell me if he's heard of him, yes or no. But Chasen Hampton is his name, and he's from Oklahoma City, but he has a background in country music. So he's doing rock in this, and it's called Close Enemies. The new single will be out by the end of January. Now, hang on a second here. Mello, you got great to obscure. Oh boy, okay. Godly and Cream, absolute best duo. I love their solo albums. Ismism, Freeze Frame, LPs were so experimental. And yeah, Phil Manzara from Roxy Music. Green Slade, Spyglass guest. Yep, always love when Mello is on with Paul. They're a good combo. Well, we try.
I appreciate
Chris
that.
Some killer lyrics. Piccolina the Cat, have you picked up the reissued Jethro Tull Christmas album? So does Mello. What is it to matter with it tonight, Musk? I don't get it. Love you. Thank you. Like I said, Sven Gulli is what we've got today. Now, because I talked about Close Enemies, unless maybe you're a real big Aerosmith fan, I want to play you something. Now, this is unreleased, so I should be able to get away with this. But back in
Sweet home.
No. So back in 1981, back when Aerosmith looked like they were toast because Steve Tyler had that motorcycle accident that pretty much ripped his Achilles tendon straight off.
Oh, wow.
They weren't even sure if they were even going to ever they were really close to being knocking on death's door. Aerosmith almost literally shut the door in 82. Okay. But the thing is that to keep busy, all right, because of course, Joe Perry with the Joe Perry Project, Brad Whitford, okay, with Whitford St. Holmes doing his bit. And then he, of course, would align himself with Joe Perry by 83. But what about the rest? What about Joey Kramer and Tom Hamilton? Well, there was a band that they did a 4-song demo, and it was called Renegade. And the lineup was Marge Raymond from Flame, also Jimmy Crespo, who was also in Flame, but ended up in Aerosmith. Okay,
that's right.
He plays guitar.
During Done with Mirrors.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I was Jimmy Crespo.
No, not Done with Mirrors. That was the one.
He's on half of Night in the Ruts, along with Rock and a Hard Place.
Rock and a Hard Place. He's on the Lightning Strikes again. Lightning Strikes song.
Yes.
Dwarves in the Dukes of Red to a Rumble.
Yeah, which
that's a great song.
That's the only song Brad Whitford's on, and then he quit after that. But for that album. But then, of course, we also have on keyboards Bob Mayo, who Peter Frampton, Foreigner, other people. So I want you guys to hear this because I think, if there was a lot of labels that were sniffing around, and well, I don't know. I just didn't really want to deal with it at the time. So, but Steve Tyler found out how close that they were going to be, and that's when he no, let's go do another album, and that's how you end up with Rockin' a Hard Place. So this one here, of course, called One More Night. Let's see what you think about this, gang. Actually, I take that back. That's not the one I wanted. I apologize. It's really this.
What you keep in your stock is what you do it the right way. My money, you can run it to your mama bun done it. Keep on moving, know what you're doing. Your woman, she's a mooing.
Well, I didn't know that.
Testimonial, give me more, do it again.
Hey, Kemba.
Got your finger in your pocket, got your foot in the socket. Hey there, Papa found a good Jim Dapper, not a midnight napper. Testimonial, testimonial, give me more. Think I'll do it again. Think I'll do it again. Do you want to do it again? Do you want to do it again? Ouch!
Pretty rocking.
Yeah, it is.
I just think it's funny the way she says "do it again" a little bit. It made me chuckle a little bit.
You know, I remember Babe Ruth. She does kind of sound a little like that lady. Yeah. They cut two albums, Flames did, in the late 70s with her and Crespo. If you want to listen to more of that kind of stuff.
It's just amazing. You got a member of Aerosmith in this group, and it didn't go nowhere.
Well, you got well, 2.5 if you want to count Crespo. So it's like, yeah, it's a whole damn rhythm section. It should have worked. This would have.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, right. What am I saying?
Anyway,
and it still didn't go anywhere. Like I've never even heard that.
Well, that's because it never got released. It was a demo.
Oh, I got you.
See, they recorded the stuff, and then, like I said, Tyler went, "Oh shit, I better get this band back together," because they were really close to going to do a tour. I mean, they were getting ready. Oh
well, I feel bad for the members that think. Imagine that being like you got Tom Hamilton kind of making you think like you're gonna make it, and now your old band comes back and like we're out in the dust now.
Marge Raymond, that's her name, and like I said, she was in the late 70s band Flame, which was on RCA Records with Jimmy Crespo.
Pretty girl too.
She did 2 albums for that, and then I don't know if she's still on YouTube, but at least a couple of years ago she was, because she commented on one of the tracks. Let me go get some coffee, and then there's another weird story that, like I said, I just found out about, and I'm not too happy about this one either.
Oh, there you go. Nice. So it's just me and you now. I was looking in the chat, and Jim asked if I knew how to play. Where is it? Can I play "Pulling Teeth" from Metallica? I mean, that is a bass line, but I mean, I've messed with it. See, I forget where it goes from that point, but I mean, back in the day, I mean, used to play along with it. You know, I haven't even listened to Pulling Teeth probably in like 10 years. You know what I mean? But I love doing the jams and just playing along with songs. You know. Spirits up here tonight, and that's enough. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. The night is up, the spirit's here. It only comes this time of year. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Da, da, da. Which I would probably get dinged for that because Macca likes to ding everything. School.
I only did a couple lines. Honestly, I didn't even. I was mainly doing Metallica
so
before.
you did a couple lines before you did that, huh? So
I did. Yeah.
Thank you guys. I love you guys.
Oh my!
Thank you, Ruth Ann. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that.
Indeed.
That was pretty good.
Saw Metallica and GNR. Metallica played first, then Guns N' Roses.
I saw that tour.
2 hours late. Oh boy! Applause.
Is that was it the show that Axl Rose just quit and said, "Thanks all you people taking pictures. We're out of here."
That might have been.
Right after James Hetfield caught his head on fire.
Yeah, all right. I didn't see that show. I saw it at Giant Stadium. It was Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and Faith No More. Pretty good show.
My youth was misspent raising a child.
I'll tell you.
I could have had lots of rock and roll babies.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Oberheim. You know who does great 12-string is Roger McGuinn. It's so beautiful when he does.
Oh my God, I love 12-string. I wish I had one.
And I saw a news report after that riot about St. Louis. I'll tell you, that was just really crazy. All three fit at one of them. So we were talking about how, or at least I was, maybe about a couple episodes ago. Please still continued prayers to Joey Milland, the last classic member of Badfinger. Well, he's hospitalized. He finally is out of his coma, right? Well, he doesn't need to be seeing this nonsense, I'm going to tell you. So there is, and I'm not going to say allegedly because there actually was I don't know what you want to call it. It was on Facebook, and it was a mini poster. There is an attempt. I wish Steve Schnee was here so that he could hear this, and maybe he knows about this already. But there's an attempt of a fake Badfinger, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, let's face it. We all understand before we get any further that the real true Badfinger died in 1975. I understand that with Pete Ham, okay? But I still accept the Tom Evans, Joey Milland years, okay? And if we're going to go that way, that died in late 1983, okay? And if we even want to get more technical, the last time that even Joey and Mike Gibbons were together was 1990. So after that, it was just Joey's, okay? So the lineup, and it's going to be in a show in Oklahoma. Oh boy. So there's a guy by the name of Tony King, aka Bob Evans. Now, Bob Evans actually, yeah, I know, down on the farm, but Bob Evans,
I love his macaroni and cheese.
yeah, did actually do he did actually wormed his way into a version of Badfinger in 1982 with Tom and Mike. Okay.
I mean, I can understand Joey as the years went on. That was his legacy. He was part of the original group. If he wanted to put a group together, him being an original member, going out, because the other guys are either dead or, not here no more. Right. And you want to still do something as a tribute, yeah. I don't. That doesn't bother me as much as somebody that isn't any part of the band, or maybe was not a full-time member, and like they came in later, and then they do a group that they were only a part-time member of.
I just want to point out, Buckethead. He's not even credited as playing guitar on so many different albums that I just found out. So that to me, when he went from War Pigs to Backstreet Boys,
he did,
and he wasn't credited. It's just one of those. So many.
A guy like him, though, I don't feel too bad for him because he probably got paid really good at the time of each of those sessions.
I felt bad for him. I was just pointing it out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I mean, he was with GNR for 4 years too, around the Chinese Democracy era. So Bob Evans, and I'll be playing. I have a short clip I want to play about that because I found a little bit of live stuff from '82 with him in it. Kenny Hark. Now Kenny Hark, he plays on half of the 1979 album Airwaves for Badfinger. Okay, so he's on half an album, but that was recorded in late '78. He ends up. And I still don't quite get this, but he gets kind of let go, so to speak, for Andy Newmark. All right. And he goes to drum for Off Broadway, which was a great Chicago band. Okay. They had Stay in Time was their biggest hit from late '79. So he's on half an album, right? And then there's this dude by the name of Jesse Barish. Now, I never heard of this guy. I had to look him up. And it turns out that he did have 1 or 2 albums out in Europe on RCA Records. But he also, his big claim to fame, if you will, is he is the co-writer of Hearts with Marty Balin.
Oh, I love that song.
Well,
absolutely love that song.
But this supposedly is this attempt at a fake Badfinger. Now, I just want to play a small clip. It's live from New York in '82. And I'm just sitting here and I'm going, really? I mean, how he even got in and wormed his way in is beyond me. So hang on a sec. I'm not going to play the whole damn thing. Just like maybe a minute, so you could get the gist of this. So this is live, 1982 of Badfinger with Tom Evans, Mike Gibbons, and this Tony King, aka Bob Evans. Anyways, that's a gist there. But here's the problem. So what else happened that year? Oh boy. So well, and Bob is nowhere in this, but Badfinger gets stuck in Milwaukee. Yeah, they get stuck in Milwaukee. And they end up, oh boy, they end up playing Shock Theater, which was hosted by a very cheesy horror host named Toulouse No Neck. This is how far down.
That's a name.
Yeah, this is how far down Badfinger got.
That's how far down the rabbit hole he went.
Badfinger! I won't let you down. I'll be back to give all my
Now you've got
love
here
to you.
Tom and Mike and Bob Jackson, which is 3/4 of the Head First lineup from 74.
Right.
You know, that's what I thought right away too, but no, that's a different Jimmy McCulloch, because Jimmy McCulloch died in 79.
Right.
That one.
And just hold on, keep your feet strong, and you'll never find a day I'm not with you everywhere. Never hide away. I love you long. But if you let me down, I'll be strong and give all my love to you.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, Chris. Wasn't it the Steve Gibbons band?
Cause you won't fade away in my mind. You'll be with me every day. Baby, hold on. And just hold on. Keep your feeling strong, and you'll never find a day I'm not with you everywhere. Don't you ever hide away. Our love, hold on.
That's not bad, though.
They still sound good.
Yeah, they did sound good, and that's what the thing. I just don't understand it. You know, the problem was, okay, at that time frame, Joey started his own version, and so Joey would be a dick and go off and call these promoters and go off and say,
right.
yeah, that other Badfinger that you want to get, they're fake.
That's crazy.
Which I'm like, well, what a bunch of horse shit, you know? So, yeah, there was a lot of dysfunctional infighting about 82 and 83 before Tom died. And then when Tom, did what he did, and that was the end of that. But no, it's all right. The other thing though about this Bob Evans guy, and I don't know much more than what I'm going to mention about this, but it was mentioned by a Badfinger fan in the Badfinger fan group site on Facebook that supposedly Bob Evans managed to get a couple of demos of Tom Evans, and then he put his work over it after Tom's passing or something.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
like, but this guy supposedly was like a little, allegedly, and I am just like, wow, so now in 2024, okay, we are allegedly getting another fake Badfinger, and I'm like, people, and I'm kind of a little bit disappointed.
Who's even going to go see that, though? You know what I mean? Who's going to even go see that?
Listen, the same damn people that don't pay attention, and they're like,
I certainly wouldn't be going to pay that.
No, I wouldn't be going to pay that either. The thing, like I said, with Kenny, I was a big off-Broadway fan, off
Right.
Brian. Yeah. I mean, I would love, I would have loved to, I loved his drumming work on those couple albums, but it's
Yeah,
like,
right.
but yeah, I mean, to go from, here's the drummer that was on half of Airwaves. I'm like, and Airwaves was a good record, but say no more rocking than Airwaves. Yeah, well, you see, that's the thing, though. Bob Jackson was a great asset, and now he came back into the band because Tony Kaye, he temporarily left because of the whole Yes's 90125 thing, because he was on that, but he was back with Badfinger when they recorded "Owner of a Lonely Heart." Eddie Jobson,
Oh, wow.
Eddie Jobson's in the video. Because
Is he
Tony
the crazy
couldn't make
dude?
it. Huh?
Is he the dude on the roof, the crazy dude?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen
Move yourself.
but yeah, so I mean, it's like that was the only time that Eddie showed up, and originally they were saying, oh well, maybe Eddie's going to be the new keyboard player. Well, that wasn't the case. He was just a fill-in because Tony came back, and that because
Right.
I mean, I heard a good live gig from '83.
I saw that new 90215 tour. I remember that tour. That was in the round too. They were in the middle, and it was awesome. It was an awesome concert.
But it was but it was '83 Badfinger, like spring of '83, and it was Providence, Rhode Island. Somebody went and recorded, and I've heard some of it. It was really damn good. They should try to clean it up and put it out because it'd be legit. I mean, it's as close as legit as you're gonna get, at least for the old stuff. Yeah, he was in UK, and that's right, he was in Jethro Tull. Was it the A album? I can't remember now. Oh well. And note, all of the Badfinger albums, Chris, are damn good, but the Apples, like, okay, my favorite, and in no particular order at the moment, Straight Up, okay, it's from '72. One side produced by George Harrison, one side produced by Todd Rundgren. Okay. Wish You Were Here from '74 is another excellent. That, God, all the bullshit that happened, that thing should have been a mega hit back in the day.
Yeah, right.
And then I hate to say this, but I mean, it's not a perfect album, but Head First, because there was two hits on that damn thing. And you're talking about a band that was so tired, and yet they were forced to go back into a damn studio and try to whip up 10 songs in an 8-week time period. And Pete still delivered 2 great songs. I don't know. That's back when, no wonder why he was so tired of being on the hamster wheel. Like I said, I think it was spring of '83. I tried to go see them in a different gig in '83 at the Thirsty Whale in River Grove, Illinois. They actually was on a Sunday, and Sundays were like all ages, in the afternoons. And I couldn't get out. I think the first time they canceled, and then they rescheduled. And it was just like, I want to say it was like May or June of '83. I should have went because, I mean, almost 5 months later, it's like shit.
Yeah, I went through the archives and I found some Rockstar original photos, honestly, that were unpublished, a lot of these. See if you recognize some of these people.
Let's see what you got.
Yeah, that is.
I should, but I'm really not with it. I'm tired.
That's Alanis Morissette.
Okay, I wasn't 100% sure on that. Uh-huh.
That's the Toadies.
Oh, okay. Oh, what the heck?
You recognize him?
He looks familiar, but God, what an ugly shirt.
Neil Diamond.
I thought that was damn
That's
him.
Neil Diamond.
See, did not know that. Okay, Metallica.
Kirk Hammett. Yep.
Yes.
Here's another Alanis.
Well, there you go.
Here's another Kirk Hammett. This is a classic photo.
Nice.
What's this one? Oh, this one's that's Lars.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yes.
Ronnie James Dio.
Yes, yes.
That
yes.
was during Last in Line tour. Here's another one. This is during Holy Diver tour.
Believe it or not, I never got the 901 live record. I don't know why. I just never did.
Right there.
Oh,
That's
look at that.
Yeah, that's from Screaming for Vengeance tour.
Nice.
This is Alex Van Halen. That's 1984 tour. This is, see if you recognize him. God, there's a glare.
Yeah, there is a glare. God, he looks familiar too. Isn't that Bruce Kulick?
Bruce Kulick, yep.
Okay.
You know who she is?
Oh my God, she does look familiar.
1982, 83.
Wait a minute, is that Wendy?
Nope, Lex Lita Ford.
Okay. Because I know for a little while Wendy grew her hair out again. Oh, there you go.
KK and Glenn.
KK and Glenn, yeah.
See, it even has the photographer on the back. So these are real photos. I think I honestly don't remember who this is. Does it look familiar to you?
No, it doesn't.
I think that may be the guy from the Moody Blues. This one's another hard one to kind of tell what's going on here. It's somebody. Oh, here you go. You'll recognize this guy. Alex John Suck.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Look who it is.
You're not going to have a lot of happy people with this one. Huh?
Oh, Jesus.
Bomb Blow Me. Here's another Tom Petty. And I got this one. Back shot of somebody. Probably Bon Jovi.
Of course.
There you go. Figure I'd show you a couple.
Hey.
I don't even know what to do with these photos. I'll probably sell them.
Okay. Good.
Like, you know, the original.
Oh, okay, good. Yes. You know, sometimes I strain my brain trying to come up with remembering of all this stuff.
I know, right?
I unfortunately am going to have to depart. I have to make an important phone call. So,
you're shutting down the show?
Yeah,
I got you.
Well, I was going to have to anyway in a few minutes because I got to take the kid to work. But now let's see. Now tomorrow's Friday. There ain't going to be one Friday. Saturday I have to work, so there ain't going to be one Saturday that I know of. Sunday maybe, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Sunday I still have off, but that could change at any moment. Yes, that's right. The space suits.
You didn't know you were going to be on tonight.
Well, not really. I managed to have a little downtime, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's do this again. I love doing these shows, guys.
I love it.
So,
I'm available. I'm there.
Well, thank you very much, and I want to thank everybody for being on
here. Hit that like button.
Yes, please, and thank you, and like and subscribe, and always remember, Psycho's Platters is a Love Peace production.